people love pointing the finger. Um, it's much easier to put the blame on somebody else than taking accountability for where you might have dropped the ball. Um, this goes for staff members, friends, colleagues, patients, family. Today, I experienced that. Excuse me, where I like to hold myself accountable. Like I say, I run to the smoke. I'm not running away from it. I want to know what's going on. But one thing that I will not, I just will not do that. I will not be falsely accused, let alone admonished for something that I did not do. I don't really like false claims and false accusations. I want to make sure that what is being brought to the table is appropriate for the table. You know what I mean? So today it was an impromptu meeting, and one of the things that I do my best to do is be available even when I'm unavailable. And when I do that, sometimes my demeanor may change because it's encroaching upon what I would like to do or what I was already doing. But I always make myself available. Sometimes you have to do things you don't want to do, but you have to do them. And one of the things that I had experienced today was just um, the false perception. You've heard people say perception is reality. And I don't believe that. I just don't believe that. But this particular family had a thought in mind about what rehab is supposed to do, but what they were actually asking from our department is out of our scope. You know, as clinicians, we can't prescribe. We have to follow orders from physicians, and it was very challenging for them to understand or conceptualize what I was saying. It wasn't really a language barrier, but what I saw there was a miscommunication um, from, I would say, physician, nurse, and they just had like this. I would say at this point they just had this vendetta. They just had this thirst for someone to be, in trouble. And like I said, I welcome challenges. And like with anything, I come to meetings prepared, and that's what you have to do. The saying, stay ready, so you have to get ready. So I was ready with all my materials and stuff like that. But I could just see that even with the information that was presented in front of them, it still just wasn't good enough. And they were upset, they were frustrated. But the crazy part about it was what they were upset and frustrated about was more so an ortho thing, not a rehab thing. And in that time in our facility, the patient went from not being able to walk and dress and groom. But it just was one of those, you stay poised, you stay professional, and you use your words. Use your words, um, talk things out and stay calm and poised. But they definitely was pushing. I'm not gonna lie to you. Not gonna hold you. They was definitely pushing the button a lot. And it was one of those days where, I was already kind of on the edge because finishing close out, making sure all the patients being seen, a little short staff, making stuff happen. I was kind of juggling, and but I still was present, still was poised, still was professional. So, look, I said all that to say is that don't let nobody steal your joy. That situation, if I had a weak mind, I could have let that steal my joy. I could have let them put their frustration and put that jacket on me. But I said, nah, I'm not gonna put that jacket on. I'm gonna put my jacket on, style on them. And when you style on them, make sure you style in their scrubs. Make sure that you live in color, you live on purpose, and you do exactly what you want to do. And before you leave, make sure that you LCSS. That's like, comment, subscribe, and share the video. I'm gonna catch you on the next one. Peace.